Wow, you look dreadful.
You won't be young forever, Missy. There's such a thing as time.
Exactly. And it looks to me as though you haven't got a lot of it left, so why not enjoy yourself?
Because I don't want to fucking stink. If I'm gonna die, I don't want to be found smelling of Lucky Strike.
Who cares? You'll be dead anyway.
I'd like to think I'll care. From heaven.
Well, stone me! You've been hit by the nun's ruler again, haven't you? After all those years of Mum telling those ridiculous stories, you know how God told Abraham to kill Isaac and how Jesus magically turned water into wine and how God is always watching.
He is always watching us. He is watching us whether we do good or evil. Now that's Proverbs 5:21.
Well, if he's been watching from up there, he's had a pretty good view of me then.
Do you have to be so coarse?
Ugh, coarse is such a tedious word. Besides, all my sins are gone anyway, aren't they?
Confession means nothing if you don't learn from it. You can't just say 5 Hail Marys and carry on with your debauched behaviour.
The point is, I'm still celebrating my independence and youth.
It should be the end of rations. You should be celebrating. Cut me and I still bleed Mars nettle soup.
Christ, the food rationing wasn't hard enough. The lack of handsome men cut deeper.
Remember when Father Wallace started to look attractive?
Oh yeah. You know times are hard when you start to find yourself drawn to the man who caned you.
I have to admit, he was a handsome man, despite his cantankerous behaviour.
See, it's still there.
What is?
That spark of desire and lust.
I suppose, but at least I don't parade myself round like a piece of meat.
Probably because your legs would give out.
And because I now have more self-respect.
Look, if you've got it, use it. I just so happen to have a body that's desired. Surely you remember how exciting that is. Yeah, you remember the feels of a man's sweat, don't you?
What are you doing?
What am I doing? You're lying here wallowing in your own tragic nostalgia and you're asking me what I'm doing? What I'm doing is living, lady. I'm living inside your head. The 40s never dies.
She did, though.
Who did? You drain the Thames and you'll find thousands of them.
And that's how you find solace, is it?
No, that's not solace. That's Deuteronomy 23:2.
No one born of a forbidden union may enter the assembly of the Lord.
Even to the 10th generation, none of his descendants may enter the assembly of the Lord.
See now, I may think that's all nonsense, but surely you remember how Ma feels about it.
We would have managed.
Oh, yes, because babies flourish in the cold.
At least he would still be here.
Oh, it's a he now, is it?
Yes.
What are you doing to yourself, Vi? You're crazy. I think that clock may be broken.
You know, the young girls these days love that hairstyle.
Why does that surprise you? High-class fashion is timeless.
I guess so. I've heard there's hundreds of shops in Camden selling 1950s fashion, except they call it rockabilly now.
Who on earth did you hear that from? By the looks of things, you can't have much of a social life.
I hear things, and you can wipe that look off your face, by the way. Remember your roots.
Roots? I think you mean weeds.
Ma tried her hardest with what she had. She may never have taught us how to cook a good meal, but she also taught you never to turn your nose up at anything.
Except Protestants.
Except Protestants.
It's no crime to expect a certain standard of living.
You had absolutely no expectations before you met Jerry.
Circumstance dictates, you know that.
Circumstance isn't the only thing that dictates, though, is it? Jerry
is a good man. He looks after me and protects me.
He's the one you need protecting from.
What a load of rubbish!
You're forgetting who you're talking to. Look, I know this is all in my head, but will you please just come and sit down and let me talk to you for a while?
These drugs can't be doing you any good, clearly.
Isolation is the catalyst for insanity, in my opinion.
Is that why I'm here, then? Loneliness? Because from where I'm sat, I'm not lonely at all. So somewhere along the line, you lost what's important.
And what's that, then?
Your standards. You lose your standards, you lose everything.
And your standards are what? You've been living with a gun under your pillow, watching him beat up any man who even glances at you. I hope you're carrying perfume and mints in that purse.
That's not very ladylike, darling. You don't want people thinking I'm married to a rough one.
Well, at least I've got a husband.
It's hot in here. Take your jacket off. Pull your sleeve up. Good job you didn't dump your second into the Thames, isn't it? How long's it been since he's made love to you? A couple of weeks? Months? This is what you've got to look forward to. You'll always be wondering who he's with and what he's doing so late at night. Mind you, he had the money. I suppose he could afford it. You stand there and tell yourself you really deserve it. Tell yourself when he sends it, it'll never happen again. He means it. Tell yourself he means it. It was either you or some suited bastard on the street. There are so many ways you can justify this, Vi. You can say you were provoked. You can say it was self-defense. You can even say you were blackmailed into doing it by some random thug that Jerry pissed off. What you can't do is blame yourself. You had a wedding. A honeymoon, a house, designer clothes, a social life, a baby girl. What was that? What the fuck was all of that when you had his fist in your face? If you wear a suit, you're respected. If you wear a dress, you're there for the taking. If a woman hasn't been beaten the shit out of, she's been raped. if not raped. She's been told she's the scum! To the point where she believes it. We can't fucking win, Vi! You don't just lose your freedom, do you? I couldn't care less about the house or the car. Losing Maggie hurts the most. She doesn't even visit.
She doesn't come?
I am so sorry.
Maggie!
What's the first rule of prison? Don't cry. That's right. Don't cry. You've done so well. I don't have to hide anything from you, do I? I'm just exhausted. Exhausted by a bunch of women merely in your head. Christ. You're just getting into Corinthians. You should know better than to blaspheme. Yeah, it's a bloody good book. I assume I'm going to be getting pretty hooked on it, eh? Yes. The older you get in here, the lonelier. It's company. Bollocks. You're never alone in here. You never get the chance. My addiction's already been tainted by the language some of the women use in here. Already been tainted. Incredible, isn't it? In prison years, 10 is a mere week. Yeah, well, at least I've got the spirit in the sky with me. And the book. Teaching me forgiveness. Forgiveness? Have you completely lost touch with what you've been focusing on for years? You're laying here going out of your mind when amongst the bad, you've done something amazing. Maggie. She hates me. She's confused. But Vi, do you not see what you've taught her? Through your mistakes, she'll thrive. She'll always treasure her body. She'll always make sure your grandchild doesn't end up in the fucking Thames. She'll never enter an abusive marriage. She'll never let anyone walk all over her. And she's going to set that example for her children. And their children. Yeah, and their children, let's pray. And not forgetting, she now knows the consequences of killing someone. Bastard or otherwise. She'll always stay within the framework of the law. Vi, you've done good. I don't need to be here. I don't want your hand. I want your fags.
I close my eyes, see your smile, and the world's alright. When I'm alone, take a memory we own to keep me warm at night. You should, if I see